welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we're going to be comparing the UnBrush versus the Tangle Teezer to see which one is better for type 4 hair. If it ain't you, I don't want it. If it ain't you, if it ain't you, if it ain't you, I don't want it. Does it make sense of what I've been through? I know your promises always come through. So I actually posted a video where I tried all the different Tangle Teezers on my hair. You guys absolutely loved it, and from that video we did determine that the naturally curly brush is going to be best for type 4 hair, at least in my opinion. And a lot of you guys know that I do not play about this UnBrush. I love this brush down bad, and of course wanted to know whether this one would ever replace this one. So today we're going to be putting it to the test. I have a few different ways that we're going to test these things just to make sure we get a full, thorough, authentic sort of comparison so that you guys can make the best decision possible about which tool is going to be best for you. And I think it's going to be really interesting because I'm not quite sure which one the winner will be, if I'm being honest. But if you guys want to see which brush is best, make sure to like this video by giving it a thumbs up, click the subscribe button, and put your notifications on so you don't miss any uploads. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram for daily content, and check out my hair care line if you're interested in getting some products to help promote growth. Alright guys, let's get into it. Alright guys, so we're going to be starting out on a twist out that is 2 weeks old. It still has so much definition, it's so hydrated. I honestly don't really want to wash my hair, but I do have to film, so hey. But I do have a dedicated twist out routine coming because I know you guys have been asking for that, so just stay tuned and keep your notifications on because I'll be posted shortly. But what we're going to do is we're going to dedicate the left side of my hair to the UnBrush and the right side to the Tangle Teezer. That way we get a good kind of side by side. Okay, so you guys know that my prep for each section is going to be the same as what I always do. So we're going to start by spraying my hair with water. We're gonna work that water in. Honestly, I really am kind of sad that I'm washing my hair because my twist out still looked really good, but hey, the life of content creation. I actually decided to bring the camera a little bit lower because I forgot my hair is getting longer and you guys can't really see all of it. Great problem to have, I guess. Then of course, you know, we're gonna go in with my deep hydration mask. I don't play about her. Make sure I get that all the way from roots to ends. Already starting off messy. Okay, then you guys know I always go in with my steamer. This helps me to absorb products better because I do have lower porosity hair. Just to warm up my hair and allow that product to really absorb. Then I add a little bit more of that deep hydration mask. And now we are ready to detangle. All right, so we're gonna start off again with the right side with the Tangle Teezer. So this is the naturally curly Tangle Teezer. This is the larger version of this brush. They do have a smaller version. I prefer the larger version. And this is, I believe, $21. It's like $20.99 on their website. So out of all the Tangle Teezers, this one had the stiffest bristles, which we kind of concluded was the reason why it worked better because firmer bristles have more resistance to really push through tangles for tighter hair. And it also has that like alternating short bristle, tall bristle sort of pattern, which also helps with detangling as well. So for the first section, we're just gonna go through like normal, just so you guys get an idea of how each brush kind of works. And this is kind of gonna be like our first test. So I'm gonna start at the ends. And as you can see, it went through pretty easily. And because this is my mask, so it is something I'm going to deep condition with, always follow up with our essential hair oil to help lock in that moisture. Always deep condition with oil, please. Just a little bit. Apply that to my hair, and then we're just going to twist it up. All right, there we go. All right, so we're gonna do this side for the UnBrush. So let's talk about it while I prep my hair. So I do know that the UnBrush is $18. So it is about $3 cheaper than the Tangle Teezer. But keep in mind, I did get the extra large Tangle Teezer. It looks like the extra large is kind of the same size as the UnBrush. So the regular one though is $17. So I guess if you get the regular Tangle Teezer, it's actually cheaper than the UnBrush. Now I first started using the UnBrush back in 2024. Before I used the UnBrush, I was using the EZ Detangler, and that was like my go-to for years. But the second I used the UnBrush, it literally knocked it out the water. And this is the original one I bought back in 2024. A lot of people said they're constantly breaking theirs. Mine is still perfectly fine. So just like the Tangle Teezer, it has that same long, alternating short, long, short bristles. It does look like it has less bristles than the Tangle Teezer. And the bristles, I wouldn't say they're more flexible, but they're not weak. They still feel very durable. And it has like this hexagonal sort of cushion. And this is all just supposed to help with detangling, so. All right, so as you can see, that also easily goes through my hair. And one thing I want to mention, a lot of people do say that the UnBrush goes through so easily because it's not actually pulling out tangles, like your hair is still tangled. I have a video where I have gone through with the UnBrush and then went right in with a wide tooth comb, and the wide tooth comb went in seamlessly. So it does remove all of your tangles. All right, so that's like the first test. I just basically wanted to give them their own space to reintroduce them, just for people who either have never heard of these two brushes or they've never tried them for themselves and have no experience. So that's like the beginning, unbiased, not comparing anything. So now let's get into test number 2. Okay, test number 2. We're gonna be seeing how many passes does it take to completely detangle my hair, because this is where my hair is the thickest and the most coarse, and so there's any challenge with detangling, it's gonna be in this area in my crown. All right, let's go. Okay, we'll count that as like 1 pass. Alright, sorry, I had to kind of cut the clip because my alarm went off, but that was about 7 passes. And you'll notice how the first couple passes, I couldn't go all the way through at the beginning. I kind of had to stop because my hair would get caught and like go back down to the ends. But overall, it's not bad, 7 passes. You can see my ends are really defined and kind of pretty. All right, let's do the other side. And also, just randomly, I posted a detangling video, like I think on like TikTok or something, or YouTube, and somebody asked me if I had heat damage. This is just what happens when my hair is saturated in product. It will go back to curly. I do have heat damage in the front from years ago, but my hair has just always done this. Like it just straightens out. I don't know why. All right, let's see how many passes we can get. All right, that was 5 passes. All right, so about 2 passes less than the other brush. And as y'all saw, I really didn't have to stop. Like it didn't get caught as I went down. It went the whole way down through. All right, so now we're starting to get somewhere here. This is getting interesting. Okay, now for the third test, we're gonna see how long it takes me to detangle the rest of the right side versus the rest of the left side with each brush. And I'm just gonna do this part silently. I'll play some music over it, and you guys can also kind of get a better visual of what it looks like for me to detangle each brush side by side. took me about 2 minutes longer to detangle with the Tangle Teezer than it did the UnBrush. So I guess if we kind of do the math on all of my sections, the front of my hair does take less time to detangle just in general than the back of my head. So we can say that it probably shaved off a good 6 to 10 minutes of detangling. So not like a huge amount of time, but it does save off some time if I use the UnBrush versus the Tangle Teezer. Now, we do have one more bonus test. I thought of this while I was actually doing my hair. Let's see how much hair each of these brushes actually pulled out, because I know that is a concern for a lot of people. So we'll start with the Tangle Teezer. All right, this is as much as I could get out, but I mean, it's barely anything. Like, that looks fine. All right, now let's do the UnBrush, which is a lot easier to get the hair out. All right, this is about how much. So I mean, it looks pretty much the same. You can leave that up to yourself. This is the Tangle Teezer and this is the UnBrush, so make your choice. But they look the same to me. So I guess they pull out about the same amount of hair. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna let this sit, finish my deep conditioning, rinse it out, cleanse with my Refresh shampoo, you already know. Then I am going to be doing a wash and go today. I haven't decided what gel I'm going to use, but I am going to be using my leave-in butter, period. We play no games with this. But once I'm done with my hair and have kind of had time to think about the comparison, I'm going to come back and I'm going to tell you guys who I think is the winner. I think I have an idea, but I'm not sure yet. Alright guys, it is the next day and my hair is all finished. As you can see, we have a different background because I moved my lights back into my live studio yesterday and I didn't feel like just going back and forth with that. This is where I go live. So if you ever want any discount sales or anything on She's Made products, our lives are the place to come and check out. We do anywhere from 20 to sometimes 40% off on products. And if you hop in anywhere from like 3 to 5, maybe 6 Eastern Standard Time, Monday to Thursday, you should be able to catch some deals. And we also do a lot of hair growth Q&As in there. Anyways, my hair is done. Like I said, I did a wash and go. I decided to do a side part, which I am loving. And before you ask what gel I use, this is a gel we are currently working on for She's Made. So we definitely have a few tweaks and things that we're gonna make. This is nowhere near the final product. But just so you guys can have a little bit of a teaser, we are working on stylers. I'm super, super excited. But anyways, let's get into my final thoughts of the UnBrush versus the Tangle Teezer. So after reviewing all the footage and just kind of thinking about exactly how each brush worked on my hair, I think that I'm gonna have to say that the UnBrush is the winner. I think I still prefer the UnBrush. Number one, as we saw, it did make my detangling time faster. So if you're someone like me that doesn't really like doing your hair, I know that's ironic, cutting down or shaving down even 20 minutes of a wash day is gonna be amazing for you. Also, I do feel like this goes through my hair a little bit easier than the Tangle Teezer. As you saw the Tangle Teezer, I would kind of have to stop at the ends and kind of work my way up versus the UnBrush. One pass on your ends and then you can kind of go from like the roots to ends and it does completely remove all the tangles. And overall, I just think this is just my preference. I'm gonna be completely honest, I do think the Tangle Teezer comes to a close second. So if for some reason I lost all of my UnBrushes and only had this Tangle Teezer to detangle my hair, my wash day will be perfectly fine. It really wouldn't be that big of a deal. I do think that both of these are great brushes for type 4 hair. The UnBrush just is gonna be my preference as far as what I'm gonna go to first and foremost. Alright guys, well that's it for this video. That's all I have for you today. Unfortunately, I did not film the process of doing this wash and go, but thankfully I have plenty of wash and go tutorials on my channel, which I will link up here. And you can also stay tuned because I am planning on filming a detailed wash and go routine for the girlies coming out in the next few weeks. Especially if you have type 4 hair, you want to stay locked in for that. So make sure if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, click that subscribe button, and put your notifications on so you don't miss any new uploads, including that wash and go routine. Also, make sure to follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I am back posting on all my platforms if you want daily content from me. And finally, of course, check out my hair care line She's Made if you're interested in getting some products to help promote growth. And also make sure to stop by in our live streams if you want deals and discounts on TikTok Shop. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.